Hey guys, I'm CJ with that hashtag show. You don't play any games when it comes to these men. What is it like having being able to play a character who's setting strong boundaries like right off rip?
I love that. I really hoped that that would continue for her, and it does. And I'm so grateful to be able to portray a character like that. I think that's a really great influence um, for young women, and I think she's just it's really kind of just really who she is. I think she really has a strong sense of she's got a high self-esteem, and she's confident, and she's independent, but she's also at that same time very forgiving, and she does, she's comfortable taking a back seat and putting other people's needs before her own. Like she has this duplicity which I really find so interesting about her and really enjoyed being able to play.
Do you think her character and her character with Josh that there's some more backstory we'll find out later in the show based off of the first few episodes?
I mean, I hope for if there's another season. Do you mean?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I hope so. I think there's a relationship there. There's so much history between them that I think, deserves to be told. And you know, Harris says to her, she says to Harris multiple times, like, "This isn't you," right? So there's obviously a person there that we haven't seen yet. So I'm sure a lot of people will want to see that, myself included.
Picking back off that, Josh Harris is he's dealing with a lot of pain and he's handling it in very not great ways. And it's interesting though because your dad in the show was kind of like the nerd kid who gave you everything so that you could be the guy that had everything. Does that ever register with your character, or did you really think about that when you're deciding how you're going to play a bully, basically?
Yeah, a little bit. I think that's one of the testaments to Johnny's writing is there's just so many parallels, and if you can't, if you pull one string, things start falling down. It's mimicking the past in a way, but also flipped at the same time. Like with the brothers' relationship and stuff like that. I don't think that registers to Harris this season. I think he's quite narrow focused on Zach, much to his detriment. And I think like coming from just him coming from like immense privilege and immense wealth in the town, he is sort of you can't quite see that if you've never like wanted
Yeah.
for that way. So he's sort of blind to his own wealth in that regard and everything his dad's given him. And we see in episodes 7 and 8 that play out really well.
I love how you're playing the character. I especially love the drag race scene going up to the bridge. Oh, fantastic. Going into that though, I want to touch on you, Drake, really quick because you guys are both kind of our tough guys in the show. Ray is complex and he's got charm and he's danger and secrets. Um, what was the way that you decided to play the character who walks like a moral line?
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that registers. Johnny and I wanted to create a bad guy who's not your archetypical bad guy, who has his own wants, desires, and frankly, the way that he views himself is I think the most complex thing because I think he knows he's not this person, but at the same time, if he's not this person, he can't really survive in this world. And so there's this like weird moral dilemma of like everyone sees me as this, and there's a lot of power in being viewed as this. But I don't want to be viewed like this. But if I don't have this, I don't have anything. And so I feel like that's been the most fun thing to play, and I think it gives you this opportunity to almost be a chameleon of a character because you're interacting with everybody, and your want with everybody is different. So it gives you the opportunity as an actor to really just like go with the flow to choose whatever choice I want to make on a scene, and it all kind of just works. So
I love how you're like a good brother, but you're also dragging Curtis into potentially doing horrible things. Like, does Ray ever stop and take a second, or is it just go go go?
I think he does. I think that the only thing Ray cares about is his relationship with his brother. But I think that there's this part of Ray that he just can't escape, which is the part that's like, Johnny and I would always call him like the fuck up with a heart of gold, where it's like anytime he tries to do something positive, the outcome is negative. And
Mm-hmm.
like there's this part of him that's like desperate to have a relationship with his brother, but his brother doesn't want one, nor would it be healthy for him. But I think he knows that. So it's kind of that thing of like loving someone so much, but recognizing that the best possible thing for them is to be as far away from you as possible. It's just a hard thing to accept.
Gosh, it's kind of true for all of you guys to a degree. Something I want to ask, because this is a show about cars and racing. Ray and Harris both race. Did you guys learn anything about stunt driving? Did you guys do any of the real tech work and all of that fun stuff behind the scenes?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, head of stunts with Dan Skeen, and he was absolutely methodical and amazing with us. And I was more than happy to throw him the keys and be like, I'll pop out of this and take all the credit. Because these are very expensive cars going very, very fast. The show really does not hold back with these racing scenes. And so it's going to be, I'm just so excited for the wider public to see that and to experience that, that hectic chaos.
Yeah, there's really is there's very little CG in any of the racing scenes, if really any. So the stunt team we definitely relied heavily on. In preparation, I went and got certified as like a precision stunt driver. So
Oh,
that
cool.
I just kind of wanted to know how to fake it, because ultimately I wasn't able to do my own stunts, nor should I have. But yeah.
Well, that's really cool. I'd be really interested to see y'all's camera roll. I asked the boys before this, but what was one of the best cars you got to see on set?
Oh, episode 4 actually.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Those cars that are on that drag strip are real drag racing cars from the guys who do. There's a show called Street Outlaws, and they're like real. That's what they do for a living is they street race. And those cars you have to have like insurance to drive, like specifically like you have to sign off because they're beasts, dude. They're the fastest fucking car. Sorry, the fastest cars that we could find.
So cool.
That's really cool. Well, thank you guys so much. Oh, last question I have to ask. Has Ray killed anybody?
Oh yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. Yeah. I hope it gets there. I really do, but I don't think he has. I don't think he has at this point. But
Not yet.
I
Okay.
hope we get to see that choice.
Okay. Well, it was great talking to y'all, and you guys can, and anyone watching can stream Motorheads on May 20th.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.